Okay, so just want to quickly give you a quick as possible rundown on how to submit your Turnitin assignment, okay? Because I've had a few questions and I want you guys to watch this so that I don't keep getting questions, and also just, yeah, I think it'll be beneficial. If you haven't watched this video and you come to me with a question, I won't answer the question. You must watch this. Okay, so I'm going to use a tutorial as an example, and you must basically follow this pretty much for all your tutorials. Pretty straightforward, okay? The demonstration I'm doing is where I am copying. I'm going to show you how if you copy from the textbook as your answer for a tutorial, you will not get, you will get the plagiarism percentage being high, okay? So here I have, I'm copying and pasting a section of the textbook on the molecular basis of skeletal muscle contraction. Nothing to do with your tutorial one, but just an example. Okay, now let's say I've created my, here's my tutorial, my Word document, right? I've called it tutorial 1. I've got question 1 and question 2. This is just a demo. In question 1, I've copied the entire paragraph from the textbook. So I've copied this bit. Okay, I've copied here, and let me just show you. Okay, so in the Word document, question 2, I've written some stuff in my own words, okay? Just to show you how the plagiarism software won't pick up any problems if it's in your own words, all right? So there's my tutorial document. You save it, and then once it's saved, I can close it. And in Turnitin, in the course content, you can see I've given you your tutorial 1 assignment. You can go to view or complete. Okay, then it asks you for your student name. In this case, I'm just going to be doing it as a non-enrolled student, because I am. In your case, you'll be able to choose your student name here, okay? In the drop-down menu, you will be able to choose your student name. Then enter your name and the submission title. In this case, I'm doing it demo run. Okay, so I'm going to call it tutorial 1 in this case, please. I'm calling it tutorial 1, Turnitin demo. I choose my file, okay? I won't choose the memo file. I bet you'd like me to, but I won't. Okay, so it asks you that is the right file. You go upload, okay? And then it confirms that this is the file you want to upload, okay? So just say, once you're happy that this is what you want, you can press confirm. Okay, and then it'll say that it's successfully uploaded your assignment, and you can now go to, it says go to assignment inbox. You can go to the assignment inbox, okay? Just note that for me, it takes, I don't know why, but for a staff member, it takes very quick to generate the similarity percentage. But for students, it usually takes a bit longer. So it'll probably take about half an hour, okay? Shouldn't take more than half an hour to generate your score, okay? So just come back to your inbox in about half an hour. Sometimes it's quicker than that, okay? Shouldn't be longer though. If it starts taking really long, then you can contact me. So let me know if there's a problem. Please ignore the other names here. These are just other students who have already submitted. When you do this, all you'll see is your name, okay? You won't see the other students like I can. So you'll just see this part, like I see here would be for me, Matthew Bird. Okay, so I can see this now, and you see how it's generated a high score. Whatever the score is, I suggest you please click on the assignment here. So just over here where the score is, click on there. Okay. And it generates an internet screen that shows you your tutorial and where you, if there's any issues with plagiarism, it will highlight them, okay? So you see all the highlighted bits here. Now, if you go over here to this the score here. Okay, so I click on the score. 57% is obviously a very, very high score, given that 15 is the maximum. And you'll see it tells you that 38% of it comes from an internet source, okay? So this is because it's basically picking up the fact that somebody, the reason it knows that I'm copying from the textbook is because it finds the same text has been submitted, has been put on an internet site somewhere else, okay? The text from the textbook, I mean. So it doesn't actually necessarily find the textbook itself, but it finds where the text from the textbook has been used online, either by another student or by a website. Okay, it could be various things. So basically, it will find it. Okay, so I don't think you can get away with it. So if I click on here, it will show me It'll show me each place where I've. Sorry, I don't know what I did there. Let's just go back. Hang on. I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, so this, when I click on the 38%, it'll show me it'll highlight in red here, the first instance where it's copied, right? And you can use this arrow to go to the next one. And it'll show you the next bit where you copied, and then the next bit, and so on. And so if it was a longer document, you could go through the document like that, okay? Similarly, it will show you where a student has submitted the same text to a paper at another university, and that was 15%. So that's number 2, right? So, or anything with a number 2 is, all these number 2s here correspond to the number 2s on the side, okay? So, okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. You see how question 2, where I've used my own words, it hasn't highlighted anything, okay? Right, so now that's looking at that score. What I wanted to show you now is you wouldn't be happy, obviously, with this score, but let's say you don't have a choice now, and it's time to submit this report, so you're ready to submit. Well, I mean, you've already submitted it, but you're ready to hand it in. Please print it out, and to print it out, please do the following. Go to this little arrow. Can you see how there's a little arrow? I can't show you here properly, but this arrow on the, I can't seem to get the pointer to show where it is, but you see this, there's an arrow on the bottom right that says download. You see where I've indicated the download there? That arrow with the line, click that, okay? Once you click that, click current view, okay? I want you to to download the current view as a PDF and then print that out, okay? So you click current view and you wait a little bit while it prepares the download. Then you can go to your downloads the PDF, right? And it opens, saves it as a PDF. So you must print this PDF, please. This is what you print and bring to class, okay? So print this PDF. The reason I want it in this view is that it shows all the details on the front page of where it shows the details on the front page of when you submitted the document, and it highlights plagiarism. And on the back page, it gives the percentage similarity index. Okay, this is what I want to see. I want to see the front page, then the body of the actual assignment, and then the back page, which shows this information. Okay, so that is what I want you to print out and bring to class. It doesn't have to be in color, okay? It can be black and white, is perfectly fine. I think in most cases you guys won't have the option of printing in color. So black and white is completely fine, okay? So, okay. Just to reiterate, just to remind you, please go to the download arrow here. Click that. And then current view, okay? Current view, that's the one I want you to print out. You can also click the I button. That gives you information about when the document was submitted, and a bunch of stuff like that, okay? Okay, so the main thing is you want to click on this match overview 57, the percentage score, and that gives you information about any mistakes you're making. And then another thing I want to point out is please do not click on this filters and settings button, okay? If you click on this, if you change any of these settings, I will know, okay? Because I will be able to see on the back page that you've changed them. And I will see on the online version, even if you change it and you hand in a different printed version of your document to the one that's online, I will know, because I will check it against, I check every document against the online, the one on that's submitted, okay? So please do not change any of the filters and settings. Do not change exclude quotes. The reason I haven't checked exclude quotes is because I don't want you guys to make any quotations, okay? No inverted commas in your tutorials. Sometimes in the other assignments, it's okay to have short quotes, but in the tutorials, there won't be any quotes. So if any quotes are not allowed, okay? If you have a bibliography, which is not really the case with the tutorials, but with other assignments it is, then the bibliography will not count against your plagiarism score, okay? I've excluded that. Do not change this exclude sources that are less than. Do not change that, because if you do, it will change your plagiarism score, and students obviously want to change it because it raises your score. It's on don't exclude by size. Do not change that. If you change it, I will be able to see that you've done it, and you will get a 0 score. Okay. So do not alter filters and settings. Right. Those are the main things I think you need to know about Turnitin, and what you need to do. Please bear in mind that 24 hours before you, that if you submit your document and you see that your score is too high and you're not happy with it, and you want to resubmit it, Turnitin has a waiting period of 24 hours before you can resubmit, okay? In my opinion, it's a little bit long, but anyway, that's the penalty they apply. They don't want students trying their luck by constantly resubmitting, so they make it 24 hours before you can resubmit it. So if you submit your first submission on Wednesday after 8 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday, you won't be able to submit it a second time, okay? Because I've closed 8 a.m. on Thursday, I've closed the submission process. You can't submit after 8 a.m. on Thursday. This will be the same for all the tutorials. So if you submit after 8 a.m. on Wednesday, in other words, 24 hours before, you will only get one chance, okay? So if your score is too high, it's not the end of the world. I won't be happy, but I will penalize you by by the percentage that your score is over 15%, as I already explained to you, okay? Um, so that's what I wanted to mention about the 24 hours. Two more things I want to mention. Firstly, you can't copy text from each other's tutorials. You might think you'd get away with it and we won't notice it, but the way I've set up the Turnitin, it will find copying, okay? Because if once a student submits the first paper, it goes into a repository. In other words, it goes into a database, and then when the next student who's copied the first student submits an assignment through here, it will see it, it will score it, it will highlight where it's copied, because it'll be able to check it against the first initial submission that was done by the first student, okay? So don't copy each other. And then just lastly, to point out that the 15% score is not everything, okay? Now, while 15% is the criterion that I use, and it is, if a score is over 15%, you will be penalized by the amount that it is over 15%. So if you submit it and it's 20%, you will have 5% taken off your overall mark, okay? But it's not everything. Sometimes I do look, if your score is under 15%, but I can clearly see plagiarism in certain paragraphs, I will penalize you, okay? So the 15% overall is not everything. It is a guideline, but it's not everything. For instance, in the tutorial, if question 1 you've done well and you haven't plagiarized, but then question 2 you plagiarized mostly the answer, you've copied it from the textbook, and then question 3 you haven't plagiarized again, I will find that. So for instance, if there's 3 questions and only one of them is plagiarized, your overall score might be under 15%. It might be like 14%. But what I'll do is I will score the other 2 questions. You'll get a normal mark, but for the question that you copied, you will get 0 for that particular question, okay? So you won't get 0 for the tutorial because your score is under 15%, but you might not get a score for that individual question if you've copied, okay? So I've already had an example of this with one of the submissions that's been handed in, and that's why I'm mentioning this, just so you guys are aware that you can't copy individual questions, because that can be found. Right, I know, sorry, it sounds like a lot of rules and stuff, but I really want you guys to learn to write in your own words. And I also don't want a whole lot of questions about how to just turn it in, because I think I've made it very clear from this tutorial how you need to do it. All right. If there are any questions, you can ask a question in the comments box below on the YouTube link, or email me, or come to my office. All right. Okay. Good luck. Cheers.